Hey everybody, my name is Linda Faulkner. I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. My blog is at www.crafterinspired.com. Thanks so much for coming by today, and today we're going to be making a window box. These are retiring. This is a Framelit die that will not be available after June 3rd. So I wanted to show you these boxes. These are Mother's Day gifts for a brunch that are going out today, and look what's inside. You open the box. I've got a few of the little chocolate truffles in there. Really fun and easy. You could put gift certificates, jewelry, whatever you want. So please join me and I'll show you how to make them. To make the window box, you're going to need the Window Box Framelit dies. Now these are retiring, as I mentioned, so if this is something that you're interested in, you might want to take a look at my Stampin' Up! Website and get your hands on this. The item number is 142762. And the pieces that I used are, of course, the large window box die. And there's 3 different choices for the little squares that go to decorate the sides, and I use the one with the hearts. If you're using the hearts, be sure that you put the heart right side up when you're decorating your box. That's an easy mistake that I've made several times. The other thing that I used was this little label, little oval label that I'm going to add to the box. Now, what are these other things? These are some more dies that you can use for the sides. And this is a die. These 2 different ones, let's just grab this one. These 2 dies go on the top like that. Let me get it down here where you can see. So this is going to go, that's going to cut out something either to put on top of each side, or I can actually cut that decoration into the actual box so that you can see into it. And then these are designed to cut the top of the box. If you wanted to make like a window so you could see inside, maybe you're putting cookies or some goodies inside, you could put an acetate strip over that and the little window framelits, or you can just leave it blank where you can actually see through it. You wouldn't have to have the window. And this is to put on the end of a long label so that you can bend it up. It's kind of a neat little trick there. Now this has candles on it, so that would be great for a birthday present, and then the dots would work for anything. So it's called the Window Box Framelit dies, and then this is the other piece that's on the die, and that cuts the top decoration. Isn't that pretty? Now I have cut things for the decorations out of, it's called shimmery white, and I don't know if you'll be able to see it on camera or not, but it does have a glisten to it. It's really pretty. And it's just a regular thickness of cardstock. I think the glitter paper that we offer is pretty heavy, and that might cause some problems cutting such intricate pieces out. So what you're going to do is you're going to cut 2 of these with your Big Shot. So I have those 2 pieces here. And then for the decoration, you're going to need to cut a top. And you can use those other windows that I showed you if you want them. And you're going to have 6 sides. So if I cut 2 of these, one's going to be the top, one's going to be the bottom, and then you'll have 3 sides pulled up or down on each piece. Let me show you. That sounds a little confusing, I know. So I've already cut my 2 window boxes, and they look like this once you cut them. And you got to do a little bit of trimming. This one I'm going to use for the top, and I don't have to trim anything off of that. But the other one I'm going to use for the bottom, and I want to take off these 2 edges. So because I already have the edge on my top piece, so that would just be a duplicate. So the only pieces I have to cut off are the 2 sides. So I'm going to do that, and there's a line right there to cut on. Makes it easy. And I like to mark them so that I know what I'm cutting. So I'm going to cut those 2 sides off, And then everything else is going to be either glued or using score tape. So let's go ahead and cut our other pieces too. So I've already cut the top, but I wanted to show you how I do this. I've run it through the Big Shot so that you can see how the little pieces are already cut out. I'm going to cut around the edge of it before I pull it out of the paper. That way it will be the perfect size. Otherwise, you're going to have to measure and draw, and that's not fun. This is just fast and easy, and that Framelit makes, or Thinlit, makes a perfect pattern. And this has 6 sides, so this is a hexagon. There we go. Now what I'm going to do is get my brush and my little foam mat out and brush across it to loosen those pieces. Okay, I've got my brush and my mat underneath it. It's just a piece of foam, and I'm going to give it a pretty good rub to get as many of those pieces out as I can, and you can see it takes a little bit of pressure. And I've got little pieces flying everywhere, so that's a good sign. Okay, once I've done that, you can see the residue left on my foam mat, and I'm going to see if this will come out. Keep it over that mat to catch the rest of those pieces, and it does. Look, I don't even have anything else to punch out. I used my precision plate when I cut that out, and that makes a big difference. So we have an extra one now. I already had one cut, but I wanted to show you how to use that. The next step is to cut out your squares that you're going to use to decorate the sides. Now, this piece is a little smaller than the white piece that I cut because I wanted that pretty border around it. Can you see that? So I cut 6 squares that are 1 5/8 inches in each direction. So once I did that, you simply lay your die on your square. And I didn't have to even tape it. You can use a little sticky part of a Post-it note to hold that in place if you have any trouble. I really didn't. Mine stayed put. But sometimes if your plates are really warped on your Big Shot, you have to have a little something to keep it in place for you. So once you cut 6 of those, you're ready to glue those on your box. And so I've got, this is the top of my box. You just choose, it doesn't matter which one. So this has all the little tabs still on it. And I've just used tape runner to glue those on. So let me show you. Here's the bottom of my box, and this is the outside of it. Make sure that all the little pieces have been pulled out, and I still got a few little spots. Get my little piercing tool to remove those. There you go. Lots of little bitty confettis to play with. And I am not a glue person. I do not like glue. It makes a mess, and I make a mess with it. So I'm simply using my tape runner. And what I'm doing, make sure you have a piece of scratch paper underneath, and I am just running it along the edge so that it doesn't cover the hearts. So a little bit of it's coming off on my scrap paper. And I'm going to do all 4 edges just like that. So maybe half of my tape runner is on it and half of it is on the scrap paper. Then I'm going to peel it off, and sometimes you need to kind of tuck that extra tape under if it comes up. And if you have any in the hearts that are going to show, if you just rub those, that'll go away. And then you're just simply going to put that on your box, and there's a little bit of a outline that shows you exactly where it goes. That makes it really easy. So you simply do that for all 6 sides. And that's probably the most tedious part of it. But it really goes fairly quickly. All right, now I put G's on those 3 tabs so I can remember I need to glue those. So you're going to fold all of your tabs on both the top and the bottom. And you can use a foam folder to burnish those. That just means to make it crease even better. I've already done that on most of them, so I'm just going to use my fingernail to give it a nice crease so it'll stay. Nice crisp fold. All right, now we're ready just to put our box together. Let's put the top on first. So here is, this one is the top, and it doesn't matter, you just designate one so that you know, because on the bottom I am, there's a little glue there, I'm just gonna rub it off. On the bottom, I'm cut those side tabs off so they won't be doubled. So here we go. Find a clean spot, and I'm going to do tape runner on the outside edge, the same way I did on the side panels. Oops, there we go. And I'm just put just a smidge in the middle, and then anywhere there's quite a bit of white space, meaning there's cardstock there, I'll put just a few little spots. All right, we'll peel that up and make sure all of our glue from the tape runner is tucked underneath. And then that's just gonna go on the top, which is this piece. And it doesn't go all the way to the edge. There's a nice little border around it. I picked these colors because I thought they were really pretty, maybe for a wedding or something a little more elegant, an anniversary. This is Sahara Sand. And then the other ones I did were the pink and the more of a pink and purple one. All right, now we're ready to glue our box together. I don't have to do any gluing on the top hexagon because those are gonna tuck into the top of the box. I have two sides here that need to be glued and two bottom pieces that need to be glued when I get the other half of the box. So here's the other half, and this is going to be the bottom of my box. So it's going to look like this. And then these pieces are going to be glued like that. Got it? So let me show you how we do that. I'm going to put my tape runner, and I'm going to use scoring tape. Regular tape runner is not going to be strong enough to hold it. I miss fast fuse in cases like this, but I'm going to use scoring tape, and I need to tape the top of each flap. It's okay if it goes over just a little bit. You can cut that off later. So let me add those. And it's going to stick just a little bit to my paper because these are a little bit thicker than the tabs are. Give that a good rub. All right. Now I'm going to peel my tape off of each of these, and that's going to take me a few minutes because sometimes that can be a little tricky. And then I'm going to tuck in my glue that comes off the edge because it's a little bit longer than the whole piece. Okay, so I've got a hold of it now. All right. So I've peeled that off, and you can see it goes over just a little bit. I can cut that off, but I'm just going to fold it, and that'll just give me extra glue because that's got glue on both sides so that fits the tab. All right, I'm going to do that with the other 3 tabs on the top, and then on the bottom, I'm going to do it on every tab that's left. So I'll have 3 tabs here, and then I'll have 2 tabs that were actually on the side panels. And remember, this is the one that I cut the end tabs off of. Okay, so I'm going to put tape runner, or not tape runner, scoring tape on each of those tabs, and I'll be right back. I don't want you to have to watch me do all of that to put the box together. Okay, I am back. Now, I have put tear and tape on all of the little tabs on both the front and the top and the bottom. Now, there's a little trick I wanted to show you. See how I have a mess of glue here on my workspace? If I don't want to change my mat, you can just use your embossing buddy and tap all over the sticky part, and that will put a little layer of powder on it, and it won't be sticky anymore. So that will save your workspace, make it last just a little bit longer. So this one is the bottom, and this one is the top. So I am going to start with the bottom tab, and you see how there's a tape runner already on that. I'm just kind of fit it up where it belongs with the tab facing up, and then press the tab onto the top half. Now I'm going to do the same thing by just building my box and going around the hexagon. So I'm going to make a straight edge right here with this side. Let me open that lid so you can see what we're doing. Right there on that side, and press it in. My tape runner is always on the outside. So I just line up. If I turn it this way, you may be able to see better. Line up my edge and press the tabs in so that it glues to the bottom. Okay. Now I have the two sides that need to come together. So I'm going to press the bottom in. I like to put it up against a flat surface, and that gives me a straighter edge. So now the bottom is done, and I'm going to now do the side. Just match up the edge and press it in. And the next, I don't have glue. There's no tape on this part right here. That's, wait a second. Let me think. Okay, we're gonna finish it, and then I may have goofed up a little bit, but we'll fix it. All right, so my other bottom edge, pull it in, tape it, and then match the two sides to make a straight line and tape it. All right, so I don't need glue on these two. I think it will work when I close my box. That will just give it a little extra stability. So I'm going to close my box and tuck the tab in, and there you go. Perfect. And notice when you do the top and the bottom, pay attention to which way the hearts go. If you put them the same way on the top and the bottom, they're going to be upside down on one of those. So I'm hoping that you can see how pretty that is. And it's a pretty nice sturdy box. The last thing I want to do is to make a little tab and to embellish the top. And I am using these little glimmer dots, faceted gems, I think is what they're called. I'm just going to put one in the center, and I think that's all it needs. And then to do my tab, let me show you how I did that. I opened up my box lid, and I'm going to use scissors or an X-Acto knife. See that little blue? That's just a little glue. Just rub that off. And I'm going to make a slit the width of my ribbon, and I'm just using some white satin ribbon. Looks like this. I'm going to take a couple of inches of that, maybe a little extra. Let's see how much that is. 1, 2, I'd say 3 inches, just so that I have plenty to work with. So let's take 3 inches of that, and let me cut it. Grab my dull scissors, of course. Now I'm going to use some large glue dots. Those are the small ones. Here we go. There's some large glue dots. Small would work, just use 2 of them. And I am going to be using these glue dots to hold my tab ribbon together. First, I want to cut. So let's kind of mark it with my piercer about how wide. And do you see I'm cutting right here where the tab meets the top of the box. So I'm just going to make sure I have plenty of room and do a little pierce on either side for a little extra room. I'm thinking this tool may work. Let me try it. So I'm going to scratch. Make sure you don't have a nice wood table underneath you, which I don't. I have a protective mat. And I think that is going to open up pretty quickly. I'm going to do just a little bit of it on the back, and I can hear it matching. It's meeting that other edge. You can hear the paper. So that should give me a cut. There you go. X-Acto knife, the edge of your scissors, and then you can just run your fingernail across it to smooth it out. And I'm going to fold my ribbon in half and put both ends of that ribbon through that little slit I have made. This is one of those hold your mouth right kinds of projects. So seems to be working slightly. There we go, it's going in. You could use your paper piercer to push it through if you need to. But you see how it's coming through? All right, we're good. It's a miracle. And I want it to come out about an inch, just enough for someone to hold on to. So I'm gonna use that glue dot now, and I'm gonna put one on the bottom of my box. I always kind of like to do it that way. Seems to work pretty well. So I've got one on the bottom, and then I need one in the middle so that it will hold that. So let's see if I can get the ribbon to pick up my glue dot. I hope you can see this close enough. So I'm just pressing. See how I just pressed the ribbon up against the glue dot? And then I'm going to carefully peel it up, and the glue dot should come with it, and it did. It must be Miracle Day. It usually works for me, but not when I want it to, so I'm glad it did. Okay, so now I've got my little clasp done right there. And then if you would like, you can add the little label. I haven't stamped it yet, so I'm not going to do that here, but do a for you, happy or enjoy, something like that. And I would just use a little glue dot to tuck it there, and maybe, I think I might tie a little bit of twine. Here's a pretty white and silver. Tie a little bow in there just to give it a little extra. There we go. The twine that has the silver loves to fray. That silver likes to have a mind of its own. So let's see what we've got here. I have way more than I need, but that's okay. So you could tie it around your ribbon if you wanted to. I'm gonna glue dot it, make it look like it's coming around that little gem on the top, although it's really not. It's an illusion. What do you think? Aren't these boxes cute? I have to admit to you, I have had this for a year or two. It's one I always loved, but I never got. And so I've had it for a couple of years now. And I have to use that before it retires. And this is one of those that I'm gonna save. I won't be giving it up. Wait a minute, that's not true. I had decided I'm going to give it away. So if you would like to earn, well, you wouldn't really earn it. I guess you'd earn it if you're still watching. If you would like to earn or win the framelits to make the window box, if you will put a comment underneath the YouTube video, and I'm just going to give you today and tomorrow because I want to get it in the mail to someone. So if you would put a comment, and you would get your name entered in the drawing, and if you would share, you would get your name entered another time. So comment and share, and I will have a drawing. I'll do it tomorrow at midnight. So you have today and tomorrow. So be sure and get that done so that you'll be in the drawing, and somebody's going to win. It's a slightly used. I think I've made 4 boxes with it, and I kind of hate to give it up, but I'm going to do that anyway. So thanks so much for watching. If you will visit my blog, I've got a paper share going on you might be interested in. You can shop at my online store, lindafaulkner.stampinup.net. And if you have questions, if you need a new catalog, the brand new catalog has just come in, and I'll be mailing those out next week. If you don't have a demonstrator and you are interested in a new catalog, just give me an email, linda@crafterinspired.com, and I'll need your name, address, and phone number. And I'll get one right out to you if you don't already have a demonstrator. I just ask that you place your orders through me the first time you place an order to help defray the cost of the catalog. That's it for today. I love the little window box die. Again, the number on that is 142762. They are going fast. In fact, they didn't even discount anything because everything was selling out so quickly. But these were still available when I made the video. So be sure and grab one of those so that you can make these beautiful little boxes. A perfect gift for anyone. Thanks again for coming. I'll check with you later.